You don't want to miss this. Imagine a world where money as we know it didn't exist, yet bustling markets and complex trade networks flourished. Welcome to the secret economies of the ancient world, where the foundation of modern finance was laid long before coins or paper money ever appeared. Let's dive into this captivating story, one that spans empires, trade routes, and ingenious innovations. From Mesopotamian clay tokens to Roman banking systems, strap in for a journey through time that might just change how you think about economics forever. Our story begins in the cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia. This region, known for its pioneering contributions to writing, law, and urban development, also held the keys to early economic systems. Trade was the backbone of Mesopotamian society, and merchants frequently navigated the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, fostering connections with distant lands. But how did they keep track of goods, debts, and transactions? Enter the humble clay token. These tokens, some as old as 8000 BC, represented various goods like livestock or grain. Over time, they evolved into more sophisticated markings, culminating in the cuneiform script, one of the world's earliest writing systems. These symbols weren't just for storytelling. They were used to record transactions, track inventories, and ensure economic transparency. Can you imagine a world where your financial records were etched onto clay tablets? Jumping forward in time into a different continent, we find ourselves in ancient Egypt. The Nile River, Egypt's lifeblood, facilitated trade and agricultural prosperity. Unlike Mesopotamia, Egypt's economy was heavily centralized, with the pharaoh overseeing everything. Grain was the currency of the realm. Taxes were paid in grain, and surpluses stored in massive granaries, which acted as both reserves and a form of state-controlled wealth redistribution. This system was so effective that during times of famine, the granaries saved countless lives. Additionally, Egyptians were masterful traders, exporting papyrus, gold, and linen, while importing luxury goods like cedar wood and lapis lazuli. Did you know that Egypt's massive pyramids were partially funded through their vast trading networks? Let's set sail and explore the multifaceted economy of ancient Greece. Greek city-states, or polis, were renowned for their independence, yet their economies were deeply interconnected through trade. While Greece's rocky terrain made large-scale agriculture challenging, it encouraged maritime innovation. The Greeks became expert shipbuilders and sailors, and their influence extended across the Mediterranean and Black Seas. You might be surprised to learn that ancient Greece pioneered some of the economic principles we use today. For instance, Athens established state-controlled coinage in the 6th century BC, creating a standardized currency that facilitated trade and boosted economic activity. Markets, or agoras, were bustling centers of commerce, where everything from pottery to olives to slaves was traded. Greek colonies spread these practices further afield, leaving a lasting economic legacy. Heading west, we cannot ignore the economic prowess of ancient Rome. Initially a modest city-state, Rome grew into an empire so vast that it required sophisticated economic management. One of Rome's most ingenious contributions was the concept of res publica, or public property. This included not only lands and buildings but also the state's financial assets. Roman law laid the groundwork for modern financial systems, including banking. The first banks, or argentarii, facilitated loans, accepted deposits, and even offered rudimentary forms of credit. Roman roads, ingeniously engineered and stretching thousands of miles, were crucial not just for military movements, but also for trade. These roads enabled the swift transport of goods, people, and information across the empire. Moreover, the Romans minted coins in various denominations, ensuring that both domestic and international trade could thrive. Yet, it wasn't just tangible goods that drove Rome's economy. The concept of tax farming, where private individuals collected taxes on behalf of the state in return for a fee, enabled efficient revenue collection across vast distances. This system, however, wasn't without its flaws. Corruption was rampant, and many tax collectors were more reviled than cherished. By now you might be wondering, did these ancient economies ever intersect? Absolutely. The Silk Road, though conventionally associated with China, was a network of trade routes that linked the economies of the East and West. Silk, spices, precious stones, and much more traveled these paths, connecting civilizations from Rome to China. One fascinating tale involves Emperor Augustus of Rome. He was gifted a special silk robe by an envoy from the Han dynasty of China. This luxurious garment set off a silk craze among Roman elites, heightening demand and driving the exchange of goods and ideas across continents. Such global interactions weren't limited to the Silk Road. The Indian Ocean trade network connected ancient India with Africa, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia. Goods like Indian spices, African ivory, and Arabian incense were traded across these waters. Technological innovations like the lateen sail and the knowledge of monsoon winds made these journeys efficient and predictable. In these ancient markets and on these trade routes, the seeds of globalization were sown. The intricate web of trade and commerce not only exchanged goods, but also ideas, technologies, and cultures. This cross-pollination laid the groundwork for many modern economic principles we take for granted today. From Mesopotamian tokens to Roman banks, the economies of ancient civilizations were incredibly diverse and remarkably advanced. Their innovative spirit and intricate systems laid the foundations on which our modern world is built. As we wrap up, consider this. The story of economics isn't just about money. It's about human ingenuity, resilience, and the eternal quest for improvement. Reflecting on these ancient economies provides us not just historical knowledge, but a deeper appreciation of the complexity and interconnectedness of today's world. Intrigued by more ancient secrets? Stay tuned for our next deep dive into the untold stories of history that continue to shape our present and inspire our future.